Hey, welcome to the session live. I'm your host. You already know we do this every week. Frederick Whitlow II, aka Minister Fred 2. Don't call me Junior. That's not how we go. Listen, I'm excited about our guest. We got a special guest. Either when you see me in the studio and I'm to the right of and there's an empty chair, you know the show is bananas. And my special guest is really a cool cat. Now, listen, I need you to make sure you tune in every Saturday. And listen, for those that are going to be on travel, well, you can also get it on Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, we're going to get right in. I love this conversation. You just don't want to miss it. So, as I say every week, I need you to make sure you share this, even as I'm speaking, with 7 people. 7 for completion, perfect. I'm a Sabbath dude. You already know the business is Saturday Sabbath, you have all day. And listen, we're gonna get in. This artist I want to feature before we get into the topic. His name is called Gifted Hands. I'm gonna tell you, it's an amazing video for several reasons. So here it is. It is Gifted Hands with I Am One of the Ones, and we'll be right back with our special guest. Please stay tuned.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm one once. A new creation, one who believes I am a child of God. A holy nation, friend of the king. I'm protected and I'm loved. I'm an heir, so on the seas. I've been forgiven, I have been freed, I have been chosen, I've been redeemed. Okay, I'm one of the ones. One of who? One of the unashamed, I mean unashamed. Never do I hesitate to doubt to call upon his name. Call him mighty God, call him Jesus Christ. He's the King of Kings, he's the one who reigns. He's the Alpha, Omega, Jehovah, and we give him glory because he is the one. Yeah, though we walk through the valley, we were not fearing the evil. We running and not growing weary. We soaring on wings like we eagles. We getting rid of our pride and stepping away from our ego. We keep our lips from telling lies, our tongues from speaking the evil. We got on the armor of God, built the truth, the shoes, the peace. We know that the devil's a lie. The word about him will lose and sleep. We been depending on God. He said his grace is all we need. So where we keeping our minds? We keeping our minds stayed on me. Cause he is the one. I done been in the world, but I never been friends with the world. Maybe because I'm not of the world, I don't follow the world. Even if I'm meant to take an L, then it's probably out of this world. I'm a model of the world, I'm a represent God on this earth. In and outside of the church, the Father is first. I don't have a physical Bible, but baby, my Bible at work. I know God is the one that supplies me with all that I need. That is through Jesus Christ, and I'm certain that all things are possible if you believe. So keep on speaking life. I know from the love of God that nothing can separate me. Not even death, neither life. I know poverty catches up with too much slumber or sleep. So I'm into sleep at night, and the Lord is my strength. Well, who should I be afraid of? I fall on my knees and repent. He's better than what I done gave her. If I am the one being sent, Satan gon' see what I'm made of. Man, if you had any sins, I'm telling you now, he will change her. It's a delicate thing when I say I'm a step for the king. I put that on everything. With a mess, I'm clean. I don't mess with the devil, it stinks. I love and respect Elohim, he be setting us free. We know that all things are working together, declare and decree. Do you know of all things God is preparing for me? No, it's never been seen. Okay, I'm one of the ones. A new creation, one who believes I am a child of God. A holy nation, friend of the king. I am protected and I am loved. I am an heir, so on the seas. I've been forgiven, I have been freed, I have been chosen, I've been redeemed. Okay, I'm one of the ones. One of who? One of the unashamed, I mean unashamed. Never do I hesitate to doubt to call upon his name. Call him mighty God, call him Jesus Christ. He's the King of Kings, he's the one who reigns. He's the Alpha, Omega, Jehovah, and we give him glory because he is the one.
All right, welcome back to the session. I told you that was a dope one. Shout out to my man, Gifted Hands, man. He got some vibe. We're in the studio, none other than the Honorable Bishop of Music. It is Mario Maitland Jr. Welcome to the show, bro.
Well, pleased to be here, man. Not the bishop.
The Bishop, the Bishop. Listen, folks. We've been trying for a long time. I've been doing this show a long time. We're in the same vicinity, and
Absolutely.
yet he's doing music and doing big production. I'm doing stuff, and it's like, I was like, Doc, we got to get you in, man.
I don't know what took so long, but you know what? All that matters is that I'm here now.
That's right. That's
We're
right. Well,
here
man,
now.
listen, we are super glad. We'll talk a little bit more about how we came about and what have you. But this show is really great because I think it's important, especially understanding the value of music, growth, development, how that can really propel people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's start. I always do this. If you're on the show, you're whether it's virtual or in studio. And by the way, he's in studio. 3 fun facts about Mario Maitland Jr. outside what we're going to talk about.
Okay,
Fact
outside
number
what
1.
we're
Talk
talking
to the
about.
folks.
All right. So probably one of the things that a lot of people don't know about me is I have my first degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. American Taekwondo. And I am on the Kung Fu side.
You're on the Kung Fu
First
side.
degree. And then my brother's 10th degree.
Right.
Because he teaches. Yeah. Yeah. And we started with it right here. Remember?
Yeah,
Martial arts
I
was
remember
right here.
that. I
Now he's
remember.
got a big old studio doing his thing.
That's
Yeah.
I
just
remember
not
him
too
right
far
here.
from here. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's what's up.
For sure. For sure. All right. Fact number 2.
Fact number 2, I used to run track in middle school.
Get out of here.
Yes.
What did you run? What did you run?
So my thing was the 100 meter. just the
Okay,
100 meter. So I
okay.
was really, really good at that. And then asthma kicked in and
Uh,
kinda
Wow.
killed those dreams a little bit. Yeah.
I had asthma too growing
had
up,
asthma
but I
too?
did track 100, 200, 400.
400, I used to be okay at the 400. But when that asthma kicked in, I'm telling you, it
I
made it
wasn't
worse.
no good after that either.
It was a wrap.
Wow, that is so cool. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that is a fact. I didn't know that, folks. All right, fact number 3.
Fact number 3, probably what most people don't know about me. Well, no, I can't say anything that we're going to talk about, right? So I got to do something
Be a
else.
third one outside there. We're gonna
A
talk
third
about
one outside. I wanted to be a football player.
Good.
Goal
That was
before
your goal.
music, I wanted to be a football player / FBI agent / paleontologist.
Wait a
There it
minute. Wait. How did you wait, okay. That's 3 major, completely different career paths.
Yeah, I just had a huge interest. So number 1, I loved sports.
Okay.
Wanted
right,
to play.
Right.
But then I also
Your son is a
love
big sports fanatic.
He's a big
boy.
sports guy,
Football
yeah.
day, man. But he's literally all athletic.
Yeah, well, he's doing music too, but I mean, he's
Yeah.
super, super heavy into the athletics right now.
Wow.
Playing football and baseball and doing his thing.
That's what's up.
Doing
That's
his
what's
thing.
up. Okay. So you just found out 3 fun facts about my man Mario Maitland Jr. Don't call him the second. That's my suffix. Second, Minister Fred Whitlow the second.
Yeah.
Here's his junior. All right. So do you have a favorite scripture that you live by, or may have a quote?
No, absolutely. So one of my favorite scriptures is faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That one I absolutely live by my entire life.
Wow.
I can give so many examples of how I've applied
Okay.
that scripture, and it's crazy, even all the way up until yesterday,
Yeah.
still applying.
Yeah.
So that is one I absolutely live by.
What makes it so special to you? Talk to the folk, because I mean and then we'll get into the backstory, but I
Yeah.
think in terms of that spiritual kind of montage and
Yeah,
in terms of biblical
Mm-hmm.
concreteness.
Yeah. The reason it's so impactful and so important to me is because there were so many points in my life and in my journey where, we say all the time, oh, I have to step out on faith, I have to rely on faith, so on and so forth. And sometimes we can use it almost as a cliche, but there's so many points that I can pinpoint where I truly had no other choice. God left me no other choice but
Wow.
to hinge and lean on that aspect of faith. So that's really, in a nutshell, without not getting too deep into it, that's really why it's so impactful.
I think it's what I'm excited about this conversation, Mario, and to my viewers and on the podcast that will listen, is that Mario's a very humble guy, man. Super talented and what have you. But we always ask the question because there's always a backstory. Now we're going to talk about a lot of the cool things that you do and where you found yourself moving forward. But who is little Mario Maitland Jr.? Tell us a little bit about the backstory before we get into this next video, because I think it's important. And there's a lot of people that aspire to be a great musician, a great producer, a great curator, because you're a curator like I am of music, just all around, all genres, all reflections. So, Mario, let's get a backstory, man.
Well, I guess when I think back to, as far as I can think back,
When you're 9 years old, 8 years old,
you actually hit the number. So the 9 years old is kind of where I remember some pivotal things happening. At age 9, I was very curious about a lot of different things, a lot of different career paths.
Correct. I got you. I got you.
That was actually around the time where I got interested in paleontology. You know, for some reason, I liked the dinosaurs and I liked just, studying their bones and all that stuff like that. And so all of a sudden I wanted to be a paleontologist. Then I went from that to really loving outer space. And so at one point I wanted to be an astronaut. Well, kind of a fun fact, one funny thing was around that age in the 4th grade, that was the first time I ever heard of Huntsville, Alabama. Because while I was in elementary school, they passed out flyers for the space camp.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, wow, Mom, I want to go to the space camp in Huntsville, Alabama.
Wow.
Never knew that's where I was destined
And
to be.
at that point, you weren't a resident.
I wasn't. No, I was in Augusta, Georgia. I was in Augusta, Georgia, but
Okay.
that was the first time I heard about Huntsville. So I was interested in all these different things, and my parents bought me this little piano. It was a little J-Mar piano.
My goodness.
Yeah, a little J-Mar piano, the little small one. And my mom said I used to wear it out all day and all night, just banging on it. And you would think that that's where my musical journey started. It didn't really start there, but that was my first encounter with an instrument in that way. And so what I remember about just kind of the core of who I was at that time was I was just very curious about a lot of different things. And one thing I can say, I knew that I wanted to do things that were out of the norm for, let's just be a little bit candid, for what a Black boy wanted to do.
Correct.
So that's kind of what I remember about the core of who I was, without getting too deep into some of the other things.
What I like, let me tell you something. We were very intentional about the videos that we're going to show in between this conversation. And one of those very eclectic individuals, I would say, is No Big Deal. He's a young cat, came out the scene out of Tennessee. Very, 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 he was a curious type of guy. But he has a song called Renaissance. And even as a young person, you had that renaissance, that I'm going to go do something that either hasn't been done, or I'm going to do it in a way that it hasn't been seen, heard, or felt. So let's go to this song. Shout out to No Big Deal, Indie Tribe. You already know the business. You tuned into the session live, Mario Maitland Jr. And I think you're going to enjoy this joint. This one's for you. All right, we'll be right back.
Middleton lane, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, Middleton lane, Middleton.
Had a grave, had to get about it. In the mix like a gin and tonic. In the mirror where I see the target, had to knuckle up like I've been with Sonic. Had enough of love, can't be living godless with a little flame like a candelabra. Not a trending topic, but I'm finna top it. Hip hop looking for a renaissance. Only problem is the Christians got it. Yeah. Yeah, mainstream on the main line, want the same lean and the gang signs and the lame lines on the FaceTime, want the thought talk and the fake crime. So the main thing is I can't sign. Can't stop playing with them ops spraying at them depraved. Had to stop staying with them deep graves, let the lot land and them. Said a prayer and then God came with it. Bought the crib and a lot came with it. Can't do it if it's not praising it. Whoa. Okay. He broke the bank. I left the label with a smile on my face. Thought I pumped the brakes, but I'm picking up the pace. Standing on my faith, I can't sit around and wait. I'ma tell you one thing right now. If I rap by codeine right now, they will probably all sing right now. Told my bro we don't hold no fear. Sign my soul for some go right here. We gon' tell them like no way, no way, no way. We gon' sell our soul for the payday. Make a way, where there ain't no way. Me and all my bros, brothers ain't today. I been sitting with the ghosts. I been listening, said don't move off a fear or adrenaline. 2 tours, got to hit the road like a Michelin. 2 breaths in, then exhale for the benefit. Had to pick the pen up, had to pick my chin up. 40 days, 40 nights, got my discipline up. Had to learn how to forgive and get my bitterness up. Couldn't wait till I was perfect, had to learn it on the way. Wait. I'ma tell you one thing right now. If I rap my codeine right now, they will probably all sing right now. Told me, bro, we don't hold no fear. Sign my soul for some go right here. We gon' tell them like no way, no way, no way. We won't sell our soul for the pain today. Make a way, where there ain't no way. Me and all my bros, brothers ain't today.
Yeah. Oh man, welcome back. Shout out to my man, No Big Deal, Any Tribe, the whole squad, John Keith. Yo, I love that. So anyway, we're back with my man Mario Maitland Jr. Listen, before we go, because we got to talk a little bit more about the journey. But your last name, let's talk about. It's a very interesting Maitland, Maitland. You got to talk about that because I think that's part of everybody. I used to remember when I was growing up, and I would hear them saying, your name means something.
Yeah.
It means your destiny. It has
Wow.
a lot. So and then when you hear the finale of this, you'll be like, wow, I get it.
Yeah.
But Maitland, let's talk about your name and the
Maitland.
history and origin of that as we move through your life.
Well, it's funny you ask because I get asked that question a lot. People are like, Maitland, what is that? Where is that? Like, I don't hear that, and you'll be surprised that it's around you in certain areas. But when I say kind of the origins that I know about, it'll make a little bit more sense in the places that you find out about it. So to kind of make a long story short, I'm Panamanian, and so I'm Panamanian.
Okay,
and so,
I was like
Panama. You find a lot of Maitlands in Panama.
Okay.
Haiti, Jamaica,
Yeah,
places like that.
that Caribbean vibe.
Yeah, that Caribbean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where my name comes from. I was named after my dad. That's where the junior comes from. But I used to always wonder, like, man, Maitland, like, what should I change it? Should I,
Right,
take another name? Especially when my stepdad came into my life. My stepdad was my dad.
Right. He feel that guilt.
Absolutely. So I definitely thought about it at one point, but I always felt like there was something unique about my last name, and I liked standing out like that. I liked having this name that you didn't hear anyone else have. And so it caused me to kind of look at my first name, and I even looked up what does Mario mean, and I found out that Mario means bold and courageous.
Wow.
And so that further made me want to kind of keep the whole thing together. And so you find a lot of Maitland places in places like Florida. If you're traveling through Florida, there's a Maitland County, things like that. Right. And so when you think about it, what culture do you find a lot of in Florida? You find a lot of Hispanic, Caribbean culture. And so it just all makes perfect sense, with it. But
that's cool. No, because here's the thing, and what I'm excited about, Mario, is that there are a lot of people listening that are adults and then their family. We're talking about legacies.
Yeah.
And for you to embrace your original legacy while having a stepfather and having someone that said, hey man, I care enough to allow you to still be a Maitland, but you my son.
Yeah.
I mean, how impactful is that? Because look at you now, and we're going to talk about it, but Lord has really blessed you in terms of, and then to continue the legacy through your own CEO founded legacy. that impacts now. Listen, we're doing a lot of stuff. I mean, you're in the school system. We're doing a lot of great things,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So I just wanted to take a minute to like really kind of share it because I think that's important because there are a lot of people that come from broken homes, come from broken situations, foster care, come from different things, and it didn't work out originally. But for those that are listening and watching, just share maybe a few words of wisdom and encouragement because you have encountered that, but you didn't let that stop you.
Yeah,
Talk to the folks,
absolutely.
man.
I would just encourage anybody that may be in a similar situation, or whether it's a broken home or step parents or things like that, or even just where you kind of feel like, man, I stand out, and I don't know if it's a good thing or not a
Right.
good thing, because especially in a home when you start looking around and you're like, man, everyone else's last name is different than mine.
Right.
And to be
Correct.
100%, that's how I even figured out to ask about, hey, mom, do I have another dad? Because up until that point, I didn't know
Wow.
until I started
Wow.
looking around and my sister's last name is different than mine, and my
Yeah.
mom's last name is different. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And so there was that brief moment, and I'm sure other people out there who may be in the same situation, you have that moment of wondering, should I just assimilate and or abandon this part of me? But I will encourage you, there is and there may be a reason why you are standing out. There may be a reason why you need to embrace that past that you may be trying to get away from, or you want to erase, or you don't want to be associated with you. I know it may sound cliche, but all of that is a part of your story, and it's going to be a
Right.
part of your
It's
story.
all a part of that growth in
Yes.
the journey.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, people say, you need to enjoy the journey and not try and always figure it out. I mean, you
Absolutely.
do your best.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to figure out something to do your best, of course. But sometimes we don't know it all.
We don't, and you have to roll with it. You have to roll with it. I have so many stories about that, but the best way to sum it up is sometimes you just have to go with it. The larger picture, God knows the design that He has for your life. Again, I know it all may sound
Yeah.
cliche, but I love now looking back at certain things that I didn't understand
Yeah.
while I was going through it,
Right.
and realizing that it was all part of that design of where I am now.
Wow. So let's talk in terms of the continued journey. 9 years old, adolescent. Now you hit high school,
Yeah.
and then you decide what was the transitional moments for you? Because you got 4 or 5 career choices at 4, 9. Now you're in high school. Let's talk about that because there are people that's like, man, and multi-gifted.
Yeah.
Have a lot of great things they want to do.
Mhm.
How did you get to the point of choosing?
So I always love sharing this story because it directly ties into what we do now. God knows what He's doing. But told you I had all these career choices I wanted, and at this pivotal point, I really was focused on football. I knew the school I wanted to go to,
Right.
so I could play for the team. Everything. I'll never forget. I was sitting in the 4th grade, sitting in class. And this guy comes into class, and he's got a violin, and he's
What?
yes, and he's offering after school private violin lessons. And I have no idea why to this day, but for some reason I thought it was so neat. And so I went home, said, hey mom, this guy is offering after school private violin lessons. Can I sign up and take lessons? She said yes. I started taking violin lessons, got really interested in it. It went from that to then my grandmother bought a little keyboard for me.
Wow.
And I would start messing around on that keyboard. And I started realizing that some of the notes on the violin were the same as the ones on the keyboard. And then the keyboard had little beats on it. So I'd play the beats and try to play songs with it.
Wow.
And my parents were like, okay, if you're going to do this, you're going to do this the right way. So they took me to this little old black lady downtown, Andrea Clark's School of Music. And I started taking piano lessons.
Wow.
And so I started taking that. I got really good at it. Fast forward a little bit, there's this fine arts school in Augusta, Georgia called Davidson Fine Arts. You have to audition to get in
You
it.
have to audition. That's
Right.
right.
I auditioned to get in. I got in. Piano and violin became a regular class for me every day.
So we got to talk about this. A young brother
Uh-huh.
picking up a violin.
Oh yeah.
Now piano, I get it because Black Keys, we do a lot of funky stuff, soul, blues, R&B, R&P, rhythm and praise, whatever, gospel.
Yeah.
But why violin?
Yeah.
What was of course you just tried it, but what did you enjoy the most about violin? Because you don't see a lot of African American
Absolutely.
young children. Well, there are more now,
Yeah.
obviously,
back
getting
then.
into the arts, the musical
Yeah.
arts of classic because that's a classic instrument.
Yeah.
I did woodwinds, which was really weird because everybody wanted to play drums in the band. I played that, and I'm playing saxophone and all this stuff. And they're like, we just corny, But I'm like, yo, that's gonna get me a scholarship while you eating on the drum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But go ahead, man.
I you know what? I can't pinpoint the exact thing, but all I remember about that moment was I thought it was really neat. And you're absolutely right. To be a young black boy, I took some heat wanting to play the violin.
Bro,
I took some heat, trust me. But you know what? When I think about the design of it all plays perfectly into that fact about me that I just like doing other things.
Right.
The one thing I do remember was with the violin, and the first time I started listening to orchestral music, there was something about the emotional side of it that when I would hear the instruments play and hear the melodies and hear the harmonies and all that, it just really did something for me. And it was an outlet, to be able to play through. So I remember just loving classical music. I loved it. I love Vivaldi's Four Seasons, all of it.
And you know what, the other thing too is really cool is that when you look at music, and you know this being a maestro of music, that you still got the every good boy does fine, the ABC minors and majors, and no matter what the instrumentation that you find yourself enjoying, you still got to deal with the rules and regs of music orchestration.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's really super dope. I think that's really super dope. So you finished school, then what happened?
All right. So while I was in at this fine art school, my goal was to be a concert pianist.
Okay.
I auditioned for the Juilliard School of Music, Peabody Conservatory of Music.
Okay.
I did get accepted also to North Carolina School of the Arts. However, they weren't offering a lot of scholarship money. And so at that time, Dr. Horace Carney from Alabama A&M used to always come to my school and audition kids. I still can remember those moments of him in my orchestra class, standing in the back, just kind of in his recruitment mode. And so one day I was heading to the bus to leave, and a teacher said, "Hey, you need to hear this guy play." And so I played for Dr. Carney. He offered me a full scholarship to come to Alabama A&M.
Wow.
And here's the caveat: I did not want to come. I said, I don't want to come to Alabama. I mean, go figure.
Good. You
right.
You a few hours outside.
Right, and go figure. I'm in Augusta,
South Carolina, North Carolina.
Right.
You got that life.
I'm in Augusta, Georgia, and I'm thinking Alabama sounds country and all that. Go figure. I think back to Georgia. Georgia's not too far from it.
I felt the same way.
Yeah,
I felt the same way.
So my parents said, "Hey, go where the money is. Give it a try." And I'm so glad that I did. And so I did come to Huntsville to go to Alabama A&M to study piano performance. I had a full scholarship for piano performance, and I'm doing my thing there. I don't know. Do you want me to keep going? Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Because I think we're going to go to a video that really speaks to where you found yourself.
Got you. So while I'm at A&M, I was very self-motivated. I wanted to be a classical pianist, so I'm entering all these piano competitions. And I won a lot of them, second place some, first place others. The Sarah Hall piano competition.
Wow, that's a big one.
The biggest one was the Rome Festival International. And when I won that one, I got to go to Rome, Italy to debut as a concert pianist, play with the Rome Festival Orchestra. So I'm getting to tour and play classically, and I'm loving
traveling.
And I'm traveling. And
that's exchange.
Yes, I was.
Moments.
It was, and I was only 21 at that time. Like 2021, right in there. And so I'm doing all that and really enjoying it. But then I start thinking about what else can I do with my skill set? And this is why I was glad I came to Huntsville, because in Huntsville and the Bible Belt, you can't just, you got to go to church too.
You got to have some vibe, baby.
You got to have some vibe. You got to be at the church. You got to know some R&B. You got to all of that. And so that side of me started developing more.
Wow.
I started a band while I was in college called Remedy. We were the first on Alabama A&M campus to start something called Valentine's Day in the Calf. And so crazy. I put this big band together. One of the band members is still with me, Trey.
That's your dude.
That's how far back
Shout
we
out
go.
to Trey, man.
That's how far back.
No, let me tell you, this is so funny. When I moved here and I was performing as a hip hop artist a lot, it was my man Mario and Dre.
Yeah.
And Trey, man, they was the two right there. I was a two-piece and an MC before the DJ, and then DJ Sam Strikes was in the mix.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how long we've been rocking, man.
That's crazy.
Remedy, we would do Valentine's Day in the Calf, where I'd have all these singers come and sing, and we started that. Then we went from that to packing out Bibb Graves Hall, doing concerts, all that. Then we went from that to starting to travel, going to St. Louis, going.
Okay, let's stop right there. Gotcha. We got now we can get now. Yeah. See, you see why it was been so hard to get him. This dude stay on the road. Man, shout out to his family. They said, slow down, son. You need to stop. And I got him. So listen, we're gonna deal with Toya Love. And Toya Love, I love this young lady. She's self-motivated. She's like, I always say she hit so hard. She's in the A. She's doing something with Childlike CC and Mike Teasy. So they got a song called Duh. When this dude got stuck in it, he was like, duh, I'm about to do it all. So here it is. So you already know to know. We'll be right back. The session live. Mario Maitland Jr. and yours, Minister Fred, too. Don't call, don't mix up the stuff. We'll be right back.
Surfer. I experience triumph, not in my own strength. I don't even be trying. Tell the devil stop talking to me when he speak, he lying. Truth ain't in you, so why would I let you continue? Don't let a hater tell you what God can't do. Really a follower, I cannot go like Saul. My heavenly Father, I say we were dead. Knew that he would do it. Duh, it's new to you, but it ain't new to us. Heavenly felt by sin to Zion. We been knew that he would do it. He do what he does. New to you, but it ain't new to us. Been knew that he would do it. Duh. Pray without ceasing, I'm for peaking, heaven I'm reaching, up on my defense, God is my offense. Tell you pray, yeah, I pray often. Prayer on repeat, never on retreat. Trinity with me, yeah, that's a 3-peat. Give me the blood, yeah, I can show receipts. Child to the king, so I don't know. I said we been knew that he would do it. Duh, it's new to you, but it ain't new to us. Heavenly felt by sin to Zion. We been knew that he would do it. He do what he does. It's new to you, but it ain't new to us. Been knew that he would do it. Duh.
It's your boy Mike T. Hey, we know he would do it. Talking in faith, I be speaking in fluent. I do. I've been in some dead situations, but came out the ground like a tumor. His ways so higher than us that we can't understand everything that he doing. In the midst of the fight, when we start to get weak, he gon' give us the strength to endure it. Wait, I feel like Jack, cause I got some more answer to do. The enemy telling me lies, but why would I panic when I know that God is the truth? Look at my life, I can see all the proof. They put my Christ on the teeth for the crew. He paid the price, already more than a few. Man, this track record solid, we already know.
I said we been knew that he would do it. Duh, it's new to you, but it ain't new to us. Heavenly felt by sin to Zion. We been knew that he would do it. He do what he does. It's new to you, but it ain't new to us. Been knew that he would do it. Duh.
No More Dirty TV show, hosted by Minister Fred 2, airing the cleanest and dopest music videos in the industry every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the No More Dirty YouTube channel. We got clean, positive Christian hip hop and urban music for your viewing and listening pleasure. We also have music video exclusives, interviews, ciphers, life lessons, and more. Make sure to follow us at Minister Fred 2, at No More Dirty Inc., and at No More Dirty Radio Show. For more information, email us at info@nomoredirty.org or call 256-698-9749. The No More Dirty TV Show. Connect with us. Tune in.
Hey, welcome back, Session Live. You already know the business. Your host, Minister Fred 2, Frederick Whitlow II for the government people. And we're in the building with my man, Mario Maitland Jr. So you're getting popular. Everybody's like, yo, the band is dope. You're doing stuff. What I think is really cool is this journey really took you really on the road. Let's talk about some of the iconic moments from Alabama A&M to Italy, the coming back, and then starting a movement of just really curated music. And you're talking about your 20. So where did it take you, man? Next step, because I know, but they need to know.
Well, it really started fast tracking after that. Especially when I got into the modern world of music and started getting on stages, and probably the person that took me, well, as I had Remedy, as I had the band, we were doing a lot of big R&B things. When we opened up for Ludacris and the Silk, Ideal. This shows you how old I am. Mentioning some of these people. Glenn Lewis, I don't remember Glenn Lewis. Eve, I mean, we
Yeah,
graced the
that
stage
was-
with all these
yeah.
people. It was really, really cool. But then I met a guy named Sean Simmons. Sean Simmons is owned
Shout
Exist
out.
Entertainment,
Yeah,
and he needed a band. And at this time, Remedy was recording their album in a studio in Decatur, and Sean was also doing some recording there. And he heard our band playing, heard him mixing our band,
wow.
and was like, "Hey, I need a music director. I need a band to start traveling with me some." And so we met up, and I
Yep.
became his music director. From there, we started going on the road. I think the first tour I remember was the GL Live tour.
Yep.
That's so we went on that tour. We were in London. That's when I found out there's a Birmingham in the
Yeah,
UK.
you're right.
We hit all these tour stops. I'm programming stuff on stage and learning about doing all of that. Actually, while on the road doing that, I met The Truth.
Yep.
That was my first time playing behind The Truth because we met. He was like, "Hey, you sound good. Stay on the stage and play behind me."
Right.
Yeah. So did some stuff with The Truth. Went from that to doing some South by Southwest stuff.
Yep.
With the
And I
Dia.
remember that because you were like, "Yo, Fred," and I was on the road, and I was like, "I'm gonna get to next year." I came because when he told me, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, I'm just stuck."
Yeah. We
Me
did
and
that.
Sam was getting it in, man.
That was a cool experience. That's actually where I met Social Club.
Yep.
Got a chance to play behind Kirk Franklin on stage.
Wow.
That was probably one of the scariest moments of my life. I was playing for another artist, and then Truth saw me there and was like, "Hey, stay on stage and play for me." And then I was getting ready to get off after Truth,
Right.
and Kirk Franklin was like, "You stay on the key."
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
yes, sir.
That's iconic. That's an
Yeah,
iconic
yeah.
move. That's
Yeah.
iconic,
It
bro.
was crazy, man. Got to work with them. Got to do a little bit of work with Coco from SWV.
Yep.
Actually have a song on one of her gospel albums called "I Surrender." So
Right.
there was a lot of moments. I know I'm probably forgetting some, but those are the ones that really stick out in my mind.
Well, you can't forget Kent Jones.
How can I
Because
forget
Kent was
Kent?
like the R&B cat,
Yes.
the original.
Yes.
Before all the new guys are coming out now.
Let me tell you, Kent
Yo,
would
yo.
always make me feel like I'm just that guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Kent
every
is-
time I see him, he just has a way of encouraging you
Yeah.
through his facial expression, too. So yeah, I love that guy's spirit, man. Love him. Swift, Ambassador.
Yep.
A lot of those
Yeah,
guys.
you already
were
know
with him.
that's hip hop. That's right up my
Oh
alley.
yeah, man.
P
P
Dub.
Dub worked with P Dub.
Man.
Oh.
And then we listen. Listen. I'm a fan.
Uh-huh.
You got to talk about the two big Sunday best. You got to talk
Oh,
about
yeah,
those
yeah.
because I think that was for me when I saw you doing what you were doing, and I'm like Mario, yo, that's dope, bro. Because it was like you had been given the opportunity to travel overseas,
Uh-huh.
abroad, come back. You brought your homies and all your families from your music family
Yeah.
into the industry, and then you're meeting people like Kirk and Fred and all of those people
Yeah.
just off of GP, just being brilliant on keys
Yeah.
and syncs.
I mean that got me the opportunity to play behind Leandria Johnson. So I got
Wow.
to play for her. Jessica Reedy.
Yep.
We did a project. We were working on it's actually a movie project, and we were doing the soundtrack. So I got to produce a song with her and Molly Music.
That's right.
You know,
right.
gosh, there were so many people. I actually forgot about that. That was
Yeah, man.
long
I mean,
time
I
ago.
remember, man.
Dave Hollister.
Dave Hollister.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
he was,
yeah.
that was
yeah.
cream, bro.
Yeah,
You
that was a
know.
long time ago.
So for you, where are some of the most favorite places that you toured?
Italy would definitely have to be one. Rome, Italy, because it really catered to my classical side and my love of just beautiful spaces with beautiful music. I remember the biggest thing I remember about being in Rome was the piano that I had to practice on was a 9-foot grand piano
Wow.
in a courtyard outside. And a lot of the concerts we did, you would go in a building, but the ceiling would open up to the sky. So there was like
Wow.
outdoor
So
things.
it was amphitheater all day, every
Yeah,
day.
absolutely. And it was beautiful. Like you're on the cobblestone street playing music,
Wow.
just even the food tasted different,
Right.
going to the fruit markets and all that, like
Yeah.
standing in the
Yeah.
piazzas and just looking at the statues and the fountains. I think I remember that one the most, because I was so young experiencing something like that.
Right.
London was definitely another big one. The only difference with London, that was my first experience with like tour life, not getting any sleep.
Wow.
jumping from one city to the next. But it was still really
it set
cool.
you up though for
It set
what
me
you were
up.
gonna do when you got back in the States.
Absolutely, it got me ready because that was real tour life right there.
Wow.
But I truly, truly enjoyed it. So those two places really stood out in my mind the most.
Okay, so we got to go and show some love because you work with some. What we're gonna do? We're gonna do this video by Kent Jones. I think
Okay.
you'll remember this one. When we come back, I want to talk about transitions, and then we got to go throw in the truth after that, and then we're gonna get into one more piece. So here it is. You already know Kent Jones. Blessings Come Here, featuring GSC. We'll be right back. Mario Maitland Jr. and yours truly.
Nah, man, please don't tell me this again, man. It's like the second time in a week, bro. What really going on, man? Come on, man. I got work to do, bro. I gotta go home, man. I'm tired, bro. I ain't even got nothing else to drink, man. It's hot out here, bro. Hey, man, you sleep, bro? What you doing, man? Wake up, bro. Tired of it, bro. I need my blessing to come on in. My blessing. Well, when you get one, let me get it.
Blessings. 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 Now I've been waiting a long time for you. Now I've been waiting a long time for you. Tell them blessings come here. When I need you, come near. I'm so happy when we're together and you see it's clear. See blessings, you make it me rich and at no sorrow. Plus you make me the lender and we don't have to borrow. I can't let you go too far, yo. I'm gonna need you tomorrow. I done learned my lesson, bruh. I just need a blessing, bruh. God says you choose life and death and your choice you remain with it. So you know I chose the life and them blessings came with it. So now tell them blessings. Tell them blessings, tell them blessings, tell them blessings, come here, tell them blessings, tell them blessings. Now I've been waiting.
They gotta get this stuff fixed, bro. They know we got stuff to do, man, and they playing, bro.
Now I've been waiting a long time for you.
They be out here on the interstate all day. What I look like? A hero, you know?
Now blessings, we got business to handle. Without you, it will finish in shambles. They be like blessings is on the way. I be like blessings is here to stay. I forever need a blessing, without a question, without a doubt. Blessed to be a blessing, what I'm about. Gave it to the Lord and He worked it out.
It's real, bro. He worked it out.
Getting praise from an introvert. Bro, you gotta say something. Last night the curse tried to kill you, but the blessing got your heart pumping. Blessing got the blood dumping. God will give it and you give it to friends. He will forever supply my needs. If He did it before and then do it again. Tell them blessings, tell them blessings, tell them blessings, come here, tell them blessings, tell them blessings. Now I've been waiting a long time for you. Now I've been waiting a long time for you. Yeah.
I just wanna answer yes or no and don't give me your maybe. Can I be your super fly and will you be my Sheba, baby? See how I be waiting patient, you like playing hard to get, and you pop out of nowhere like an unexpected refund check. No count, my list of blessings longer than a Cadillac, but I'll protect you just like I'm gold in that throwback to Mac. How about that? Never block you and I love them back to backs. You throw them, I catch them, I'm overdue, matter of fact, just
Tell them blessings, tell them blessings, tell them blessings, tell them blessings, come here, tell them blessings, tell them blessings. Now I've been waiting a long time for you. Now I've been waiting
Give me numbers. What is wrong with you? Sleep on the highway.
Man, we've been out here forever waiting on you. What's wrong with you?
Oh, it's my fault your car broke down?
It took you long enough. Kingdom business.
Oh my goodness. And welcome back to the Comedy Hour of Session Live. You know, man. Shout out to Ken Jones, man. That's the fam, K-Joe fam. We're in the studio with my man Mario Maitland Jr. I'm trying not to laugh. That dude's funny.
He is funny.
Literally, he's a comedian.
All the time.
And that is naturally like that after he done rocked the show. So listen, let me do this. We're gonna do the Friday, Saturday, so people know how to stay in touch. So every Friday night, we do here on our YouTube channel. We're now on LinkedIn. So for the professional side, it's the No More Dirty TV show. That's the dopest, cleanest, finest music videos, visuals you gonna get in the country, and it's all family friendly. So you ain't got to worry about it being, an issue for your fam or kids, and it's all good stuff. And even when we do the very deep stuff, there's a caveat. We always let you know what's going on and what the theme of is from week to week. All right, so don't forget every Wednesday night, Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, so you can get it. Just make sure you lock and load. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, No More Dirty INC Inc. No More Dirty Inc. All right, let's do this one. Saturday, you get what you got right here. It's my man, you already know, Professor X, yours truly. It's the session, Bible Beats and Bars, Session Live. We have amazing guests like Mario, whether it's international, it's going to be national, local, regional, and just transformative stories, because these are the stories like what Mario's sharing, is that make you realize that you can do it too. So again, that's every Saturday, 2 p.m., Sunday, and then on Mondays for those that travel, because we want to make sure we're mindful. You can get it on LinkedIn as well. Then on Sundays, we just turn up No More Dirty Radio, the whole crew. So if you want to have fun, you want to get turned out, 3 mixes, life lessons, plus your boy. Then you got, oh my God, then you got Coach Dr. Cross, and he doing his crazy PhD, 2 masters. He keeps doing stuff. I don't know why he does all that. But anyway, that's going 5 o'clock G93. Shout out to Ed Gaines. We up at 6 p.m. You already know 103.1. And then we go global, which is really dope with ANC. Thanks again. Envision-radio.com. And we're on Mondays, but then after that, you can catch it all around the world. And then, of course, we're on Spotify and all that other stuff. All right, there it is. No More Dirty Radio Show, No More Dirty Inc. All right, back to the show. Woo, there's a lot. There's a lot, bro. So let's talk about, man, how many years of touring has it been for you now, man? Because, did y'all see that look? He was like, I don't even want to talk about it. It's so unbelievable.
I think if I really look at the heavy years,
okay,
I would have to say probably from about when I was 21, 20-ish to about 29-ish is where I was kind of heavy.
So 8 to 9 years. Because I remember, bro.
Yeah, it was going all the time.
That was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Not only was it the touring, but it was seeing your name affiliated with so many genres and curated of music. That was bananas. And I was like, yo, that's my dude, man. I remember. Now he's and so and so and so. The most rewarding thing about all of the travel, and then we'll move on.
Okay. I think the most rewarding thing was it really, again, it goes back to that whole how God has a design. I learned so much, and I was pushed and challenged in so many directions that it truly gave me the skill sets and the things that I needed to do what I do now. Right. I wouldn't have been introduced to it, or I probably wouldn't have had the skill sets that I do now if it wasn't for those two.
So I want to move this real quick, and that is, let's talk about your intentionality for clean artists, whether it's considered mainstream or not. And then, of course, Christian hip hop, that's my world. And we've done a lot together, produced records together. We've done a lot. But why is that so special to you? I know you're a man of faith, but in terms of a music connoisseur, producer, engineer, why is that so important, clean and Christian, especially when you're talking about hip hop and R&B?
Well, because I feel like, one, sometimes we go with things, we go in a direction with things that may feel good at the moment, but in the long run, it kind of hurts our. I think about the way the old folks used to say it. It kind of hurts your witness, you know.
Yeah.
It makes it hard for you to try to encourage and say things to other people when you're associated with certain things. You know what I mean? And so from, we can think about it in a business way, from a branding standpoint, it kind of hurts the brand a little bit. I'm careful with saying it that way because I don't want it to seem like, oh, I only do certain things because I'm only worried about what I look like, quote unquote, in the business. But when you think about who you are and what you stand for and what and who you represent when you're not in the room to say that to somebody, then you have to be intentional with the things you associate yourself with, because again, it makes it hard for you to speak and encourage and help and even do certain things, if you're associated with the wrong type of thing.
And I think the other thing, I'll piggyback on that, and then we're going to go to a song by, I want to talk about a couple of our artists. But I think the other thing I love about what you do and what you've been able to create, you've been to be able to create a space where people can grow into good, grow into positive, grow into those areas where we, a lot of times we say, well, that's what everybody's doing. And it goes back to how you think. And how you're wired. I don't need to be like everybody. I don't need to sound ratchet like everybody. I can do something and it could be just as sexy, but not too much.
Right.
Or just as appropriate and still keep it 100.
Right. I mean, you actually made me think about something, and I won't get too deep into it because you may bring it up later.
No, we good.
But one of the core values that I established for my business when I was this concept called the infusion of positivity. And what I meant by that was, I didn't feel like it was our job to go and say, don't do this, don't do that, don't, blah, blah, blah. When a student comes in, don't live this way, do that, so on and so forth. It was more about creating an atmosphere.
Come on.
Because that atmosphere was created when a person encounters it, you don't even have to say anything. It may trickle in the first day, it may not. But after a while of them being in that positivity, whether it's super intentional or by osmosis, some of that positivity is going to get on you. And it's going to get in you.
And that's, and really, and we're gonna go, let's just go to, I want to go to the Truth, who you work with, and I had an opportunity to meet him on different occasions too. But he has a song called Set the Bar. And what I love about what you do, and kudos to you again and your entire philosophy and team. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what that turned into in this now moment. But I love the fact that you can be non-judgmental and still set the bar for the best, the most positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's, whether it's Mario, Maitland, or No More Dirty, we believe that you can do any and all things clean. You can do all things with appropriateness, which is what and positivity. So here it is. Let's give it to him. We don't want to get too deep, but you already know how to go. You come down this lane, we're going to give you so much positive, so much Yahshua. You're going to be like, whoo, let me consider the source. So here it is, the Truth, and Set the Bar. We'll be right back. Mario Maitland Jr., don't call him too. I'm just saying, you can do that with me, but not him.
Know where you've been, know where you are. Yeah, I understand. I set the pace, I set the bar. Know where you've been, know where you are. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's about 8:45. I can remember the days down in the basement. recording my lines. I was a young and my daddy was cutting my hair. I wasn't going to salons. Kids tease me though it wasn't easy, it was hard, but man, I was born to survive. Trapped in the closet, sweat dripping while I was recording my raps. I was that student in college to study for hours, but I wasn't built for the desk. High school was a jungle, I stumbled on what I had. I wasn't caught in a trap. Thugs like me, boy, the bloods like me, boy, the girls like me, boy, I garner respect, cause I've been putting in work. I know it's important to rest. Red Bulls, double shots on the floor, study hard, eyes good for the test. 3 scores, 10-page paper for the winter breakdowns, most of my stress. Songwriter and apologist, I don't apologize, plus I'm a corporate exec. Yes!
I see the pace, I see the bar. Yeah, you know where you been, know where you are. Yeah, I understand. I see the pace, I see the bar. Know where you been, know where you are. Yeah, I understand.
I want y'all to listen to me and my creativity like I'm Kanye on the track. They say I'm falling off, I call it evolved. Yeah, maybe I'm trapped in prison in 2006 when I sounded like Jay-Z and Wax. Now I need all of the same fans to stay with me so I can keep hanging them plaques. Please don't get me wrong, I am so grateful for all the support from the past. Want you to play all the old music in your headphones while you mow on the grass. Want you to play all the classics in your classic. Yeah, along with the new music, cause I need you. It's not my last hit, but it's coming so fast. I get it, man, I understand. It's different from when I was riding a train. I guess it's the creative license I got, but I never intended to drive him insane. Only intended to drive in my lane. Boy, I'm about to hype on my name. Truth, yeah. Emmanuel Lee, boy, I'm putting my life in the game. Yeah.
I woke up this morning. I can't miss this moment. Yeah, I woke up this morning. Yeah, I can't miss this moment. Yeah, I woke up this morning. Yeah, I can't miss this moment. Yeah.
Welcome back to the session live. Hanging out with my man Mario, man. Listen, I hope y'all been enjoying this joint. Make sure you check him out. So we got to wrap it up with this. So as a result of all of these experiences, bro, 10 years on the road, you finally settle down and say, okay, I'm gonna do something locally. You create this thing called
Maitland Conservatory.
Say it again now.
Maitland Conservatory.
Maitland Conservatory. And by the way, his studio's down the street from literally.
Yeah.
We're in the same vicinity. Like I'm in Suite B, he in there. And then he got A, so we were on the wrap around. So man, kudos to you, man, for real.
Thank you.
And let me say this: what's really cool is, literally, you're 6 months to a year before. Yeah. This brother's the one that said, "Hey, yo, Minister Fred." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? You got bruh. They got another space right down the way from me. You should go check it out. You could do your hip hop church ministry shows." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna check it out." 6 or 7 months later,
here you are.
And we've been this way.
Been this way,
bro. You got to talk about Maitland. This was the juicy part I really wanted to get to, because I think you need your kudos and your roses and the thank yous now, because you are doing some amazing things, which we're going to talk about, and we're going to show you a few video clips of what he's doing. So let's talk about your Maitland Conservatory and your services, some of the things you do.
Thank you. Well, Maitland was birthed out of the things that I wish that I had. As I was going through my musical journey, there was a lot of things that I learned about and found out about and was exposed to that I kept wondering to myself, why didn't I know about this before?
Yeah.
I could be so much better if I knew about this before. And so I decided to create a place where people could be exposed to the modern world of the arts, or a hybrid kind of education where you're shown how you could take traditional arts education and create modern career opportunities out of it, or access modern career opportunities.
Which is workforce development.
Yes.
Which is career application.
Absolutely.
All through the arts.
All through the arts. Because the arts are a huge part of this. I mean, think about how this is being streamed, how it's being edited, how the audio is being recorded. You need those people who have those skill sets. And I always believe that the best time to go after a dream was at the point of inception. And the problem with the arts, in particular, the modern arts, is that most of the time you have to wait until you're 18 years old.
Come on.
Hope you have the money to afford to go to a college that offers it.
Which is going to be rough.
Right. And but what sense does that make where if I want to be a music producer, or I want to mix and master records, my first time encountering the equipment is at age 18 at a college.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Correct.
You should be able to access it at an early age, so by the time you get to that point, you can make that informed decision to go and take your career further. So I wrote a business plan in 2006 for this idea of a school, and we opened our doors in 2012. We do everything from teaching traditional arts education, which is all the instrumental lessons, piano, drums, guitar, all that, but we take it into teaching you modern application of those instruments. But we also teach things like music production, digital art, animation, live sound, concert lighting, all kinds of programming. We have our programs in several schools and organizations around here. So students are learning all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And now we've just recently started our career and technical education side, where you actually can get certified in a lot of our programs, such as mixing and mastering, production, live sound, all of that.
And you know what I like about it? While making this statement, go ahead and cue up. Let's talk. I want to show them the video, Professor, that talks about your anniversary, making 10 years. And then we're going to come back and talk about those the technical careers, which is what you're talking about. So let's go right to this video. I think this is a great way to segue.
Absolutely.
And then let's come back and talk 10 years later, the now moment, what's new, what's happening, and how they can get plugged in to your music conservatory, which is your school right here. And you have virtual, so you can do it virtually. So you could be in New York, you could be in Italy, whatever.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to go to this. I think they need to get it. The visuals is everything. Absolutely. All right, Professor, let's put them on. You already know. Wow, wow. Bring my man back, dude. That's that. Yeah. Hey, man, listen. Again, listen, I remember when you were in there and I came in one Sabbath afternoon and I was like, dude, this is so dope, man. And then here's what's deep, folk. Um, again, kudos to you. Because back then it was just you and it was me. Literally. And we were talking about reaching kids in the inner city communities. You remember that, bro?
I remember that, man. Like that was really a big passion of ours.
For sure,
A
bro.
really big passion.
For sure, man. And it's like now we look 10, now 12 years for you, 11
years.
for me.
Mhm.
My nonprofit is actually 11, going on 11 years, but 11 years of actually being here.
Yeah.
You're 12 years, man.
12 years. That's a long
Like,
time.
like, folk, this is why it has taken us so long to really have this moment. For
Yeah,
you,
some
man.
work.
But for you,
Yeah.
and I didn't want you to get emotional, but there was no way in the world we can talk about all
Yeah.
the cool global and touring without the real reason why we do what we do every day.
Yeah.
We have Camp Smart. We started Camp Smart. I started at the dream believing every kid is smart, and he was believing every kid needs music in their life. We came together, and part of our Camp Smart is always the Maitland Conservatory, sound design. And we were doing this when nobody was doing it.
Nobody was doing it. Yeah.
It wasn't even in
Yeah.
the school system, bro.
Right, right.
Now you're in you're in all these schools,
Mhm.
16 member team.
Yeah. A little bit more now.
I mean, probably
actually
more than-
almost yeah, almost 20.
man. And you work with our kids this year. You work with them. I mean, we've been doing the Camp Smart, what, 7, going on 8
Yeah,
out of
I was about
8.
to say, yeah,
Because
it's
the
been about-
pandemic was 3, we didn't do it. That's the only reason. So 8
Right.
out of 11 years, we've been rocking this. And
Goodness.
this is a year after you were already here. I came in,
Yeah.
and that was one of our first programs, folks. So for you, man, what does this really mean now? Looking 11 years ahead, and then of course you're looking for 10 more, plus 10
Absolutely.
plus more.
Absolutely.
Talk to the folk, man.
So with and I want to make sure that I give you answer just the way you want me to answer it. So tell me one more time, what do you want me to kind
So
of?
for you, what has been the most impactful moments? And for you, because you founded it.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
is your baby.
yeah.
Because there are people like, man, I remember when it first came on, and you gave the quote
Yeah.
from the inception.
Yeah.
11 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
this day,
Yeah.
the things that now the city, I mean, you're top 3, bruh.
And we
Uh,
just
young-
recently got named number one. Number one
Number
music,
one.
number one music school in Huntsville.
In Huntsville, and
Yeah.
this is not the big schools.
Yeah.
This is a young black brother 11 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
So, man, kudos to you, bro. And I
Appreciate it.
mean, we're not trying to get emotional, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, you know.
You know, I remember the conversations. We sitting on that little cream couch that was on the video. And I was like, man, how are we gonna pay this? How you like, man, I just gotta get a keyboard, and I got 6 kids, and we are literally going back and forth and
Yeah,
praying.
Yeah.
And 11, 12 years later, here
Here we are.
full blown studios. You got 2, I got 1. We
Yeah.
traveling. I mean, we hardly see each other except
Yeah,
when we
right,
pull
right,
up.
right.
So for you, man, talk
Yeah.
to them about the dream, man, and what it really means for you.
I mean, for me, it really was seeing the fulfillment of other people's dreams in it, but also through me pursuing my own dreams. And there's nothing better than, as you're on your own personal journey, that you get to bring others along that and see them go past you or in a different direction. There's nothing better than that. I think one of the most impactful moments that I think about to this day was I had a student who was taking lessons with me from when he was 9 years old, before I even had the building. And he came over and started taking lessons with me when I got the building. And he continued taking lessons. And then all of a sudden I saw him decide to go to college for piano performance.
Wow.
And then he started teaching at Maitland Conservatory. And then he went from
Wow.
teaching at Maitland Conservatory to becoming the lead piano instructor at Maitland Conservatory.
Come
Then
on, son.
just a month or so ago, winning the James A. Hefner HBCU piano competition, the same one I won that got me my graduate assistantship to work my master's. And then going from that to now he teaches my son piano. So when you think about those, full circle moments, it's like, okay, this is what it's about, man. This is what even the Dante Pride concert. So
Sure. Sure.
You know, there was a guy that played acoustic guitar. You remember on the song?
Yes.
Johnny, right?
Yes.
Me and Johnny looked at each other, and that was such an impactful moment because I was Johnny's teacher in 2005.
Wow. And yo, wrecked acoustic.
Yeah. And when we looked at each other, we said, man, to be able to play with your student
yeah.
all these years later from 2005.
Wow.
And he said to me, you know, Mario, I remember when you were talking about how you wanted to start a school.
So that's 19 years later.
19 years later.
Bruh.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
So those are some of those impactful moments, and there's many more. You know, students I encounter, parents who come up to me and say, "Hey, you changed my son's life." I got to give this one last one.
That's fine.
We started a music technology program at the Alabama School for Cyber Technology and Engineering. As a result, one student who was there decided to double major at the University of Alabama. They actually did an article on him. He wanted first just to be an electrical engineer.
Right.
Because of his experience in the music tech program, he decided to major in electrical engineering as well as audio production and audio engineering. Why? Because now he wants to make the gear that audio engineers use. And he said it was
and listen, did you hear what he said? The gear, the technology, the system.
Yes.
Not making tracks, but the system that we all facilitate the end outreach.
Absolutely.
The end goal.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go, Professor, let's go and let them see about this tech thing, and we're going to get out because this dude is emotional. And you get me
you
emotional.
just have to call me out.
Well, you get me emotional, bro. I'm like tearing up. So anyway, we'll be right back, man. This is dope.
When you learn a new skill, the expectation is that you will be able to use it right away, but more importantly, in the real world. At the Maitland Conservatory, we believe that modern arts education shouldn't be any different. Introducing our new career and technical education programming at Maitland. With CTE, you can now enroll in some of the most exciting career paths in the modern arts, with the extra confidence that you will be ready for the career of your choice. And if that wasn't enough, each of our CTE programs are certified by our panel of real-world industry professionals. So what are you waiting for? The education that you're looking for is only a click away. CTE is your new path to success. See you in class.
Man, so listen, we ain't going any further. We done with this interview, man. We all up here tearing up and stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
But again, man, in terms, how can they get in touch with you? Let's do that to wrap up.
Okay.
And then you give a few closing words. I'm going to pray for you.
Absolutely.
Continue blessings.
Thank you.
Again, I want to say thank you because this was the beginning of a conversation to a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And look where you are now and look where we are. And we're literally doors down from each other, bro.
Yeah.
And constantly just jumping out of walls, bro.
Yeah.
And still giving back like it was our first day having a conversation.
100%.
So,
100%.
Any closing remarks about your technical program?
Our new career and technical education programming, we've got it backed by some industry partners. Some people you know, some you don't, record labels. The reason we set it up this way is because the whole goal was to not just teach you and send you out the door. Now we want to teach you and provide you with a career opportunity to get you there.
Yes.
And so now with our new CTE programming, that is that final piece that I've been waiting years to add to our programming. We work with students from kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school. Then I said, what is the next step? We need to take them to the next step.
Yeah.
And CTE was the next step. And now we can get you jobs with what it is that you do through our certification panel. So, yeah, I mean, that's really it in a nutshell. It's our newest thing. It starts up in the fall.
Yeah.
I encourage you to go to our website, www.themaitlandconservatory.org. Check out our career and technical education programming. Classes start in the fall. We will be doing some free sample classes, so make sure you follow us on our social platforms as well, too. Maitland Conservatory on Instagram, Maitland Conservatory on Facebook. Look for us on there.
And don't forget, it's the THE, meaning this is the only kind of Maitland Conservatory you get. Don't get it twisted. .org, meaning that when you support, those funds come back to keeping this amazing initiative and this organization going. And that's really what it's about, you know.
Yeah.
I want to pray for you, man.
appreciate
Again,
it.
man, I really appreciate you on behalf of Professor, myself,
Yeah.
the entire No More Dirty crew. We've been rocking for a long time. We're gonna keep doing this, and I want to say a special thanks to you because with the Camp Smart, you know the kids we work with,
Yeah.
they can never have these opportunities anywhere else.
Mhm.
Shout out to Professor X, got Boeing on lock and helping us teach these kids this kind of stuff. But what you're doing is helping them. And we had kids on the spectrum.
Yeah.
We had the kids that most people would not really want to deal with. But collaboration, the relationship, the business acclimate
Mhm.
has transformed thousands of kids.
Yeah. 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 That's what it's about.
We've reached thousands of kids
Mhm.
over the past 11 to 12 years. You need to understand that. So when I say this is my dude, Mario's a great guy, love his family, but I love his family, personal family, and then his Maitland Conservatory family. So we're going to pray.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for what
Thank
you do. Don't ever stop, man. Pace yourself because, you know, we getting older.
Yeah, absolutely.
But while you're doing that, man, enjoy the journey and don't try and figure out the journey because
That's right.
for now, the technology is what it is. And I love the fact that we're getting them when they're kids.
Yeah.
Because we believe every kid is smart and we believe every kid needs to be a part of the Maitland Conservatory.org. Let's pray. So, God, we just want to say thanks. Wow. Who would have thought this is what you had in design from the time he was 4? Get up a violin, moving into music, piano, touring, traveling the world, accolades all over the place, and still coming back to home front and creating a system and a school, Maitland Conservatory, that now is number one in this city and literally is impacting globally. So, God, I ask now in the name of Yeshua the Christ, who is Jesus of the Bible, that you'll blow his mind. I pray every day, Lord, blow my mind. Show me how big you are. I ask you to do the same for me, Mario Maitland and Maitland Conservatory. I pray a special anointing of favor on all of his team, his staff, every piece of equipment. I ask protection and covering on all that he does and touches. I pray that you'll be with the partners, the school systems, and all those that he has had the privilege and the honor to work with even to this date. And God, I pray that you'll continue to fill his cup so that it overflows with support, overflows with outcomes, and may every young person through adulthood and seniorhood that becomes a part and participates in anything that they do, may they be not only blessed, but may it be the outcomes of careers, may it be the outcomes of consistency, and may they be better individuals that are productively thriving in their community. Now, Lord, for those that are striving and trying to figure it out, I ask, Lord, that when they make that call or when they go to the website, they see that is well worth it. Every investment that they make, that they will do so in a way that it will bless them over and abundantly. In the name of he who makes all things well, Yeshua the Christ, who is Jesus of the Bible. Amen. Bro,
Appreciate you,
salute,
brother.
man. You already know, man.
Absolutely.
You are tuned into the session on behalf of us here, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, you got the Maitland Conservatory. Throw that up again, man, one more time, Professor, the website. And then you have nomoredirty.org. Throw that one up. So you got both of these organizations that's constantly making a world of a difference. So we'll take them out. Let's take them out. One of the artists you work with. Shout out to Cross Movement always. They set the tone for all of the hip hop from the east to the west, and now everybody loving them. So we're gonna go with the truth. Ambassador. Let's go with Ambassador since he was one of the artists that you work with and rock with. We'll see you next time. Blessings and peace. And hey, enjoy the holiday, enjoy the day, enjoy the time. We'll see you next time. Peace,
Next
peace.
time.
Yep.
It is what it is. Life, our God's in the building at night, all decked in light with splendor in mind. Hands in the air, if you're feeling it, I know the feeling. The feeling is life. It's the feeling of life for real. Life for real. There's life in in Christ, and this life is real. Now, hands in the air, if the feeling of I know the feeling. The feeling is life, it's the feeling of ladies and gents. Lend me your ear. There was a life, and I'm living it, yeah. I was living in darkness, I was living in fear. But then there was a spark, and a light would appear. Like Genesis 1, it was just a word, but a powerful one. And I must have heard, cause my bones were dry, but my bones revived. And my heart was lit, and I was drawn to Christ. He was the pursuer, so I know I'm the pursued. This is true, what you gonna do when he comes for you? Our God's in the building tonight, all decked in light with splendor and might. Hands in the air, if the feeling of I know the feeling is life. It's the feeling of life for real, life for real. There's life in Christ, and this life is real. Now, hands in the air, if the feeling of I know the feeling is life. It's the feeling of life. It's the Lord's everything. He deserves an applause from every being, whether living on earth or you're a heavenly being. Start declaring his work. He's over every king with a line in the sand. The flags in the ground, we claiming the spot, we snatching it now. And lovers of must in him, that to the bound. Check the thorns and cuts, they were a cap gown, but an empty tomb. Yeah, that did us down. No more cap and gown, he came back with a crown. His sovereign reign, nobody will miss it. And the ring of the king, everybody will kiss it. With a scepter in hand, even demons submitted. When Jesus is lifted, his people are with it. He's the reason I spit it, and the reason you get it, and the reason I used to creep, but the reason I quit it. Yeah, he is the pursuer, and you know I'm the pursued. He is reigning, is he reigning over you? Then stay with us. Our God's in the building tonight, all decked in light with splendor and might. Hands in the air, if the feeling of I know the feeling is life. It's the feeling of life for real, life for real. There's life in Christ, and this life is real. Now, hands in the air, if the feeling of I know the feeling is life. It's the feeling of life. I stand in the spirit of Luther, reformer and king. I think I'll see both in the future. I stand on the word with a faith of the word. With no trust in myself, I keep my face in the dirt. Righteousness of Christ on my church clothes. And when Christ is light, that's when the church glows. If you're not in the faith and you're not in the fam, thank God for his grace, thank God for his lamb. You should turn and trust, you should come learn with us. You should come turn and live, look what he's earned for us. Life, our God's in the building tonight, all decked in light with splendor and might. Hands in the air, if the feeling of I know the feeling is life. It's the feeling of life for real, life for real. There's life in Christ, and this life is real. Now, hands in the air, if the feeling of I know the feeling is life. It's the feeling of life. Somebody ought to say he reigns forever. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. We celebrate him. Make much. Hands in the air if you're feeling them. I know the feeling. The feeling is life. It's the feeling of life.